everybody. Welcome to the big day of giving for Sacramento Jazz Education Foundation. This is part 3 of our day. Our goal today is $25,000. All of the proceeds will go to youth education, specifically for early jazz and just arts and music in general. Right now, we are sitting at $15,000. So our goal by the end of the hour is to get to that 25,000. We have plenty of amazing little incentives for you guys, and we have a really good show. My name is Pete. You guys heard earlier from the Syncopating Sea Monkeys. I am an alumnus from the Syncopating Sea Monkeys. I went on to Berklee College of Music, and I've been playing the drums for quite a while now. I am extremely grateful for my education and the ability to play music through the funding from Sacramento Jazz Education Foundation. You're going to hear from Andrew Stevens and Dexter Williams today. They are also alumni from the Tea Garden Jazz Camp that happens every year. Controlling this whole hour is Justine. Go ahead and say hi, Justine.
Hello.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
she'll be in the background controlling this whole event. And let's have a nice little chat in the YouTube comments. Feel free to shout out, say hello. If you're a part of the network, if you're new, just say hello. And tell all of your friends to come and check out this concert. It's going to start now. How about we get Andrew Stevens and Dexter Williams to show up and play for us?
All right.
That was amazing. Yeah, so every dollar counts. Donate the money and you will sound exactly like Andrew and Dexter.
That's a guarantee.
That's what we
Yes. I wanted to talk about this with you guys and how important like arts and being an artist and being a musician is. And I just know, like, for me, art is like everything in my life. As Katie says, killing. Of course, you guys sound killing. I met you two at the Tea Garden Jazz Camp, which essentially, if it wasn't for the scholarship that I got through kind donations that people can make today at bigdayofgiving.org/SACJEF, that's SACJEF, you can see at the bottom of the screen. I went to Tea Garden Camp on a scholarship on a whim because I told my parents that I was interested in playing music. And I went, and I literally never looked back. I bought a drum set the next month. I was so hyped from Jazz Camp.
Yeah.
Talk about your guys' experience at Tea Garden Jazz Camp.
I just started doing it in high school because I started playing bass in concert band, and my parents know you guys and Bill, and they said you should really go to this jazz camp, and I had the same folks sponsored me all 4 years to go to it. So
yeah, and sponsorship is a huge part of donations. As you can see. We have a little bit of an internet problem. I do want to say thank you to, I saw Ronald made a donation. Dexter was talking about scholarships. I think you guys are back now, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, scholarships and donations help fund kids to go to jazz camp.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I received scholarships, not from the same people, but definitely it was a huge help. And I think I started when I was 12. I missed a year, but I think I did 5 years at camp. Yeah, it's definitely a cornerstone of my musical development. So many of the connections I have now are from camp.
Right. Yeah. And let's talk about that again, because, we all graduated from this camp, as I had said earlier, from the kind donations and scholarships from people who believe in arts. But you guys didn't major, like you didn't go to college for music, right? Like I went to college for music, but you guys didn't. So let's talk about that. How did music help you beyond the actual playing of music, I guess?
I mean, I think playing music definitely helps just your cognitive development in general. And for me, it helps my focus and everything. I feel like I can be a lot more productive after I play. My decision to do academics for college, I'm not quite sure why, but I definitely, as the 4 years went on, I was pulled more and more towards music. I started gigging. I had my first gig my freshman year, but as it went on, by basically my junior year, I was kind of going the music route while finishing up school.
Right. Yeah. And, and college, music and art, we're talking about passion. We're talking about emotions and feelings. And, if you give the child an opportunity to tap into those emotions and passion, that unlocks who they are as a person. And that's where these donations can really help the community. Like you were able to do math. I know you did math, but like you were able to do like things outside of music, but still you had a venue and a way to, let your emotions free and have your passion be fulfilled and it wasn't, missing. So it's kind of like a knife.
That balance was really important for me and having that music to play off, because math is definitely not a discipline where you let your personality shine through.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. The music is definitely essential, and I'm glad I stuck with it.
Right. Yeah. And did you guys meet at the Tea Garden camp?
Yeah.
I think so.
In terms of like actually talking and playing together. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I met The first one I met like Devin at the camp, and we did TNT together. And then Devin was friends with Andrew from high school.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually we just all hung out at camp and became friends.
Formed a little band at camp. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that is, that's something that is really important that I want to talk about too in this first half of this conversation is, we're talking about passion. We're talking about, bonding and, you guys didn't do music in college, but it still helped form who you are as a person. And if we're talking about friendship and bands, not every high school has an early jazz curriculum. Here at the Sac Jazz Education Foundation, we are trying to help your high school, the viewers, if you are in high school, we're trying to help your high school have a foundation and have a background. And yes, Katie also went to college math.
Yeah, Katie.
But we do have a program where we help teachers who want to have an early jazz education sort of foundation for their high school. We do help have that opportunity as well. I do want to talk a little bit more about what kind of donations and incentives we can have for you today, actually. And we have some really good ones. The first one is, Justine, if you can put this on, it's a request a song. $25 if you donate. Write what kind of or what song you would like in the early jazz realm, and there is a good percentage, not 100%.
Yeah,
there's a good percentage, 50%. North of 50%, and he's a math major, so that's he knows. Yeah, there's a good chance that they'll play it for you right now if you donate $25 towards our goal of 25,000. Right now we're at 15,550. And how about we play another? Well, I'm not playing anything. How about you guys play another song? Oh, we have Bobby Henry here. He was lucky to have an early jazz program in San Diego. So you're hearing comments and conversation from people who have graduated from the Tea Garden Jazz Camp. Everybody who, goes to camp tends to want to come back. I've been going to camp for, I don't know, 20 years or something. I don't know. How old am I now? But yeah, so yeah, camp is a really good thing to put your money towards. The arts are always good thing to put your money towards, especially during this time in the pandemic. All of us artists are struggling, to be honest with you. And the programs like the Sacramento Jazz Education Foundation helps specifically musicians get what they need to discover who they are as a musician. So let's, what do you guys have in tune for us, or in the bag, I guess?
Ain't gonna give you none of my jelly roll.
Ain't gonna give you none of my jelly roll.
Yeah.
If we're talking early jazz, this is as they say, a good old good one.
Good old good one.
So take it away.
Let's do B flat. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, congrats on that. Okay, so I wanted to talk about other things that Sacramento Jazz Education Foundation has for students. Other than the fact that camp isn't just a US thing, we have students from Australia, we have students from Canada, we have students from England. It's a worldly thing. So your donations will bring people from other countries to study this music as well, which is amazing. I remember when I was a camper, I met people outside of Sacramento, and for me as a teenager, that was huge at that time, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about they also have in the early parts of the year, Sac Jazz Education Foundation has a festival that high schools from around California and elsewhere come to play and also get adjudicated. So your donations will go towards that. I do want to say thank you to Eli and Felix for your donation. And I also want to say a huge thank you to Janet for your donation. And speaking of that donation, that does hit an incentive, actually. I didn't talk about it earlier because I wanted to bring it up now. But one of the incentives that you could do is if, Justine, you want to put the next incentive up on the board, if you donate 150 or more, Andrew will play a Louis Armstrong transcription. A transcription. So you might not have been able to see Louis Armstrong play live, but you'll be able to see Andrew channel Louis Armstrong through his trumpet.
Hopefully. And we've got two. So there's still room for another enormous donation.
Indeed. So let's talk about music lessons, actually. We're talking about transcriptions, and obviously you guys are phenomenal at playing. I'm a big fan of yours. Oh, we actually have both of the incentives hit, actually. So so you're on the spot. Okay. So the first, we'll have you introduce the first one later, but yes, so we're talking about these high level, music things, your guys' ability to play and solo and do transcriptions and that sort of stuff. So the Sacramento Jazz Education Foundation will actually take money that has been donated and pay for lessons. A lot of it goes to underprivileged communities, people who can't afford lessons or can't afford to be in anything. That's what these donations help. They'll help people, underprivileged people who can't afford to go to camp. And you can't go to camp. Well, here's this donation. You can go to camp, and that's what it's all about. We're putting the opportunity in the hands of underprivileged people, and that's the only thing that we could ever ask for is, how many voices have we not heard because they couldn't afford it? Well, now they can with your guys' generous donation. So let's talk about music lessons. Have you guys been the recipient of music lesson scholarships awards from Sacramento Jazz Education Foundation?
Yes, we both have.
Yeah, same here. I have too. Yeah.
Yeah, and they've been great. I was able to take lessons, but I mean, especially for someone who's struggling to afford lessons, when you're starting out on an instrument, it can be so frustrating, and just having a little bit of guidance can make such a huge difference. So I think that that music lesson program is one of the most important things that SacJeff is doing.
Right, especially if you're
people through the year.
Indeed, yeah. If you're a child who sees like a YouTube clip of some trumpet player playing the trumpet, and you have just the slight interest, just write an essay, ship it, email it nowadays, to the, there's links on the Sacramento Jazz Education Foundation to apply for these scholarships. But yeah, Dexter, go ahead and talk about your time with the lesson scholarship at Sac Jazz Education Foundation.
I mean, I don't remember it that well. It was a while ago, but it was definitely the first time I was taking lessons. I took a couple lessons with like a classical bass guy, and it definitely pointed me in the right direction because I had no idea what I was doing. Like when I first went to jazz camp, I was like not, I had listened to jazz before, so I knew how it was supposed to sound, but I was not doing it right. So just someone telling me where I was supposed to put my hands was kind of a huge deal, I think. I definitely
Yeah, and the Sac Jazz Education Foundation actually has a list of teachers who are familiar with this specific style of music in the early jazz, 1910s, 20s. And that was a good thing. You talk about you, Dexter. It was the same for me. Like I got into the drums because of, at the time, nu metal was huge. I liked all the heavy rock and all that stuff like that. So that's what I wanted to do on the drums. And so that's who I was taking lessons from, was a rock guy. And I got this scholarship for lessons, and they pointed me to Rick Lauder. And and the jazz world was just like, I mean, I was already in the Sea Monkeys, like I said before, but I had no idea what I was doing. I just hit the drums. And then, that helped me a lot was this scholarship, which is extremely important. But so thank you to all the donations that Nancy just donated, Robert, Felix, Eli again, Janet. Thank you so much for your donations. We're going to play, you guys are going to play another song. But hey, Andrew, let's talk about the first transcription that you're going to play for the the huge donation?
I guess we'll start with the Potato Head Blues. So this is Louis Armstrong's famous out chorus from Potato Head Blues over the breaks. And I covered this transcription in my Sac Jeff online lesson videos. I played the transcription. I have a PDF of it. And I talk about kind of the first level of learning a transcription is learning the notes. But to really get a lot out of it, you need to go deeper and learn the inflection and the articulation and get it so you can play it along with the record. And, you can't hear the differences between, or ideally, I mean, Louis Armstrong's one of the hardest people to do that with because his, just everything is so impeccable. But
Right.
yeah, this is one of those transcriptions I've spent some more time on going deep and trying to get it to match up with what Pops was doing there.
Right. So and I'm excited to hear it again. I've heard it. I've heard you play before, and it's phenomenal. But I do want to say before you guys, start playing, every dollar counts. It doesn't have to be a huge donation, but everything goes towards a really amazing cause for the arts, for music, for early jazz, for the preservation of this amazing history of America. And so you can donate at bigdaveGiving.org/SacJeff/ there we go, SacJeff, and you'll see it on the bottom. But yeah, why don't you guys kick it off?
Cool. So should we do Potato Head and then also do a tune?
We'll just do Potato Head. Yeah, just do Potato Head, and then we'll talk about the lesson bank actually right after that.
Okay, cool.
I'll be providing the breaks. You want to just get it started?
Yeah.
Hey. So
you mentioned after that one.
Yeah, you mentioned that took a lot of hard work and a lot of time to transcribe. And again, I just want to remind everybody, and like Joanna, thank you so much for your donation. When you donate, it goes towards sending a kid to camp, giving them lessons, scholarships for lessons, and also it goes into the lesson bank, which is what Andrew was talking about earlier. Here at the Sacramento Jazz Education Foundation, the arts and music was heavily impacted. And so we had to figure out a way to continue this education. And through this, through brainstorming, we put together a series of educational videos to teach anybody, children, adults, how to improvise in early jazz and the early jazz sort of curriculum. Andrew's a part of it. Dexter's a part of it. I made videos, and with your donation, each of those videos do cost money to make. And with your donations, it'll affect that sort of online education that the world has had to transition to directly, If you donate $150 or more, that will fund a video, which is really good, and a lot of good feedback have come from it. Like Andrew said, you could actually, the transcription that he just played is a video that you yourself could go, check out. And the PDF is on there, right, Andrew?
Yeah, the PDF's on there, so you can, get together with that in the recording and start learning it. I was just looking through before this stream started, looking through all the videos in the lesson bank on the SacJeff page, and I hadn't seen all of them. I was amazed how much great stuff is on there. Some of the musicians that I admire the most are just, putting videos up there for anyone to watch to just spread their knowledge, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's really great. And, that's only happening because of generous donations that the viewers have been making throughout the year and make today. And like I said, our goal is 25,000. Just imagine how many opportunities that would create for underprivileged children, people who can't go to school because of COVID, or people who are interested in going to camp. The money helps out a lot. So let's play I keep on doing that. So how about we play another tune? I'll just keep on saying
okay.
Whatever.
We'd love it if you'd come join us.
Yeah.
Hey, if I could, I'd bring my one little cymbal.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Throw it up in the air. Yeah. Okay, we'll do another tune and save that second transcription for later.
Yes.
Okay.
Which one
cool.
is this?
We
might not have time for all of them.
And again, the link is bigdayofgiving.org/man, SacJeff, SACJEF. We're at 17,337. We're so close to 25,000. Let's get to that. Again, if you want to request a song, ooh, Micah's driving quick.
Come on.
Yeah, if you want to request a song, that's $25, right? To request a song. So yeah. All right. Kick it off.
Yeah, let's do Wahoo, unless another one's calling your name.
No, that one.
Cool.
Yes. I wanted to say a quick thank you to Christopher, Joanna, and Bob. Thank you so much for your donations. If you made a donation of $25 or more, you can request a song. But in order to request a song, go ahead and comment on YouTube or in the Facebook comments. Let us know what song you would like Dexter and Andrew to play. Like like Andrew said, there's a 50% chance or more that he will be able to play it. But I just wanted to talk about another thing that all these donations will go towards, and that is what I think is kind of big, actually, and that's instrument repair and also instrument matching. If you don't know what kind of instrument you want or your child wants to play, the Sac Jazz Education Foundation has a program where we will match instruments through people who have donated instruments. They don't want them anymore. They just give them to our program. And, kids who are like, oh, I want to play trumpet. Well, here you go. You can try that out. If you come to camp, this is a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you guys have had this before. Oh, Bob Williams would like to hear Some of These Days.
Wow. I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
For context. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Moten Swing.
Wow.
Maybe
When?
less than 50% chance.
Ooh. Okay, so let's talk about this instrument repair thing. If you come to camp and your instrument is kind of, going to the side a little bit and you need it repaired, you can get your instrument fixed at jazz camp. And that is a huge discount because I've paid $300, $400 plus to get an instrument repaired.
Oh yeah.
And if you come to jazz camp, that's paid for by these donations actually. And that's a pretty big thing. Another thank you to the Owls, Bill and Yvonne, for their donation.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, when I taught at camp last in 2019, my sectionals were in the instrument repair room, and so I was watching them do just amazing work on. I saw a sousaphone that was like the bell was like almost completely collapsed, and it was almost like new. It was incredible. So yeah, horns always inevitably get broken. Mine's broken right now, and repair is it's hard to know where the right place to go is.
Right.
If it's too much, if you're getting swindled, and the repairs at camp are huge.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah. And like I said, if your child or you don't know what kind of instrument you want to play, we have, people donating instruments. Some of the money that's being raised today will go towards repairing those donated instruments. So it's pretty big. It's pretty big where this money goes. And again, I want to say thank you. We're at 20. We're trying to get to 25,000. We've raised a good amount. Bob really wants to hear Some of These Days, which coincidentally is also one of my favorite songs.
I think we know it enough.
How's Moten Swing go? Is there a bridge?
I don't know.
Is there a bridge?
I wanted to do. We have 20 minutes left.
Mhm.
We'll let some of those. We'll try to get as many requests as you guys can,
Uh-huh.
even if it's just playing as much as you know.
Yeah.
And then we also have to get to the second transcription that you've made.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Paige, for your donation. So how about we play as much as you know from Moat and Swing, as much as you know from Some of These Days. You don't have to do solos and all that fun stuff.
Okay.
And then right after, play your third transcription, which will be what?
Which will be Cornet Chop Suey.
A
I haven't quite got the ending breaks of that tune together yet, so it'll be the intro melody portion and then the very ending put on it, a little bit of a modified transcription.
Hey, it's all work in progress anyway, right?
Yeah, right?
So we'll do those 3 songs.
Mhm.
When we come back, we'll sum up everything, and I have a rapid fire question for you, questions for
Okay.
you guys towards the end of the show, and that'll be fun. So go ahead and kick it off with Moat and Swing.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Okay.
Is that an A flat?
A flat, and the bridge is just in C. So I guess just blow over the bridge. I think so.
Okay, cool.
And just blow over in C for the bridge. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. What's the
All
next
right.
one is Some of These Days, which is my favorite. I wish I can play with you guys because I love playing Some of These Days.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And then it goes to F.
Okay, we'll figure
All
it
right.
out. Is it 32 bar? A, B, A, B? Okay.
No, it's not A.
No, it all
Yeah,
changes, right?
No.
Okay, cool. This one's for you, Bob. One,
Man, I love every time I was at a jam session or I would play in a band that I haven't played with before. Oh, what song you want to play? Some of These Days, every single time.
Oh man,
I love that song.
Up on it.
So good call, Bob. That's
Yeah.
for you.
Nice, Bob.
And so this one is the transcription, and like you said, it's
Okay.
Cornet Chop Suey. So
Cornet
this should
chop
be really
suey.
fun.
Yeah, slightly modified. Okay.
That's a classic. Hey, that sounded really good.
Thanks.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to play that tune.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So
Next year I'll learn the break part too.
yeah. So I do want to talk a little bit actually about Bob Williams, and
Uh-oh.
he says, "Thanks, guys. It's close enough."
Close enough. That was some of these days.
Yeah.
Very
So-
few of these days.
Yeah. So Bob Williams actually is, as Katie says, hella good. So Bob Williams actually
Thanks,
fronts
Katie.
the TNT jazz band that the Sacramento Jazz Education Foundation puts together. And again, the donations that are made today will help Bob Williams and TNT be a band and play in festivals and give students an opportunity to play gigs and shows and feel what it's like to be an actual band and a musician, which is always fun, right?
Yeah,
We're at
something we've all
17.
forgotten.
Oh, go ahead, yeah.
COVID.
Yes. We're at 17,644. We have 10 minutes to make it to 25,000. And I wanted to do a little summarize. Again, the money that is donated will go towards instrument repairs, instrument matching, scholarships for lessons, which are huge. It'll send a kid to camp, or 5 or 10, or, there's actually, I remember one year there was like a good amount of kids that came to camp on scholarship through generous donations by you guys, the viewers, which is pretty impressive, actually. There's a lot of kids, tuition isn't like extremely expensive, but it's still expensive relatively, right? So again, thank you for all of your donations. We're going to do a rapid fire question. And so you guys familiar with rapid fire?
So it's gonna just be like trivia?
Yes, I'm going to ask you a question. The first thing that comes up that relates to the question. Go ahead and say it, okay? So the first one is your favorite jazz musician.
Louis
Armstrong, Clifford Brown, maybe.
There
Charlie
we go.
Parker's also in there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, of course, everyone's going to say Louis Armstrong when we're talking about early jazz, right?
Yeah.
But also, yeah. Okay. So the next one is, what's another instrument you'd like to play?
Piano.
Valve trombone.
Hey. And both of those are actually a part of the instrument matching program that the Sacramento Jazz Education Foundation has. Okay. So the next one is what is your favorite food at camp?
Oh, French toast.
Yeah.
French toast.
Oh, the corn with the chicken.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
The corn. Oh man, there's a funny little story about that corn. We actually have the kids actually shuck all the corn for us because the counselors didn't want to do it one year, so we made a game for all the campers to play, and it actually turned into be one of the most favored games that the campers play.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Bluegrass music going on.
Yeah,
that's great.
Okay, so how about this one? Okay, so things you miss the most from performing.
Oh, the general vibe and interplay with the audience.
Yeah,
playing for no audience is really fun still, but having people enjoying it right in front of me.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of busking out in Golden Gate Park and around San Francisco, and that's really fun, especially when a crowd forms, but it's definitely not the same feeling as people are coming somewhere to see you, and they're excited about it and they're invested for the whole concert and stuff. Yeah, hopefully we'll be getting back to that a little bit this summer. Who knows?
Right. Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait to play for even background music. Like
that was fun.
As long as people are there, and Katie says "Corn with Chicken" is a good song title. I think Katie actually wrote "Baby Corn with Chicken." So, okay. So how about this one? What's the most memorable lesson you learned in your jazz education?
I remember learning a lesson from Lee Westenhofer he would always say, like, the KISS, keep it simple, stupid thing, but he would just pound that into my head. And I remember early on playing, and maybe still sometimes I just try to play too many notes, but he just would always say, hey, quit doing all that stuff, and he kind of just pounded into my brain, just play what people want to hear instead of what you want to do. So
thank you so much, Richard, for your donation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And for those of you who don't know who Lee Westenhofer is, we called him Westy.
Yeah.
He was a fantastic sousaphone tuba player, and I can't remember what the thing is called, but
bilabial fricatation.
Bilabial fricatation player. But he taught at the Tea Garden Jazz camp that we all have been talking about this whole hour. So yeah, keep it simple, Joanna says. Yeah, from Westy. I mean, that is like the thing that I remember one of the biggest lessons that I learned was how to play, as a drummer, we're excited to play fast songs, right? I mean, that's like the thing. And I was in a band that he was teaching at jazz camp, and he taught me the relationship between the body and the playing. Yeah, bilabial fricatation. Yeah. So when you play, it's not just like an audible thing. It's a whole body feeling. And so when you're playing slow, I remember him showing me what it physically looks like for somebody to listen to the song at that tempo, which is a hard tempo. I think it was like, right? I mean, that's kind of a hard tempo. And he would like get up and just like walk, and like, this is what it should feel like when you play this tempo. That's like, man, ever since then it was, at camp, I learned that at camp, and ever since then it was like all songs at that tempo felt better because I had that like visual representation.
Walking. That's perfect.
Yeah. What about you, Andrew?
I just have, there's so much that I learned from Bria and Rusty in those lessons. I'm thinking about specifically one lesson about breathing where I learned a lot from Bria, and another one, I think Rusty and Bria both talked to me at different times about, okay, you can play well, but all the other parts of being like self-promotion, putting a band together, just being like a smart musician, that's kind of where our lessons were going towards the end of camp. And I definitely wasn't even thinking about that stuff before they brought it up to me. And well, just thinking about camp, and like Rusty and Bria are two of the best trad trumpet players around. And that band in general, Dexter and I have been listening to a CD called Live and Camping of the Professors from, I think, 2004. I don't know.
I think it was like 2005 or 6 or something.
Maybe, but the lineup isn't exactly the same today, but it's very similar. And, I listened to that when I was 15 and 20, and now, and it consistently holds up as some of the best trad jazz I've ever heard in my life.
Right. And these are lessons that we learned at age 15, and it's still sticking with us. Like, I'm 34.
I can't believe I was listening to that every night when I was 12 and like talking to my friends instead of just like, whoa.
Yeah. So again, go ahead. You can donate all day long. BigDayofGiving.org/ man, I almost got it that time. Sack Jeff. Make as many donations as you like. Bill says it was recorded in 2004, so you were correct.
Yeah.
And again, your money will go towards real life experiences in terms of like education for musicians. And it'll stick with them forever. Like, we've been talking this whole time, and these are lessons that we, still think about, and it impacts us so much. And I'm in my 30s, and I learned that when I was 15, and it's helped me so much become, the artist and the person I am. So again, you can donate as much as you like all day. The goal is 25,000. We've done a really good job, you guys. We're at 17,696.
Let's get over 18 at least.
Yes, let's get to 18. I have one more question to close out this section with. Tell me what a day at jazz camp is like for the both of you from your memory.
Ooh.
It's totally different
from the morning to the night
Yeah.
as a camper.
As a camper, it's just totally different from regular life because you just, you're worried about school, and then you've got like your friends at summer and stuff like that, and then you just go, and then you're in the middle of the forest with 100 other kids playing jazz. So it's just, it's I don't know, it's just really fun and kind of shapes you. It shaped me as a person, and I don't know, it was just kind of like separate, just like playing jazz and having fun.
Totally.
Yeah. So,
and the schedule is like, oh, what were you gonna say?
No, you guys froze for a second, but you're back, so we're good.
Yeah, just like there's a wonderful balance of playing with ensembles, working on your instrument specifically with all the other trumpet players or whatever it is, working on. I used to go to the theory camps, and then for a couple years I went to Ed's drum lessons, which took place at the same time as theory. And I learned so much about rhythm from those. And then also balanced with a lot of free time, which seem at first you think, well, what are they doing? It's just free time. But that time is so important to like interact, because we're all just like the one kid at our school that likes trad jazz. And then all of those kids are together. And so you can you learn a lot about being social and like form lifelong friendships. I mean,
yes, we're all a huge family, and it matters so much. So I just want to say, in the last 30 seconds here, thank you everybody for your donations. You can donate all day. I want to say thank you to both Andrew and Dexter for putting on amazing shows and having transcriptions. Yes. So again, bigdayofgiving.org/SacJeff.
Got it.
Thank you all.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Pete.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome.